I think like someone said to me, he was a sponsor of mine. He said, you want to build a life you don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And this life
Beautiful.
I've built around me is I don't want to lose it because
Yes.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love the people that are around me.
That's awesome.
And I have accountability to those people.
The Spiritual Shitshow Podcast with Suzanne Sole, episode number 12. Hey fuckers, welcome to the Spiritual Shitshow Podcast, where we get into the actual shit show the healing and spiritual awakening journey can be. I'm your host, Suzanne Sole, comedian, lifelong spiritual student, and cousin to my guest today, Peter Mastrogiacomo. Peter is, first of all, my cousin, as aforementioned, is second of all, the founder and CEO of creative agency Grayson Sky, and third of all, he's a dude in recovery. And that is so fucking awesome! It's totally awesome. Peter and I had a fantastic conversation about being an entrepreneur and being in recovery. All right, let's get to this fucking chit-chat with cousin Peter. Is he there? Oh, he's there. All right, well then let's roll it for Pete's sake.
Peter!
Hey, what's happening?
Welcome to the Spiritual Shit Show Podcast
Thanks.
interview shit show.
So happy to be here.
So happy you are here. Which these interviews are produced by Grayson Sky
Oh, yeah. And producer Brooke.
and producer Brooke
And Chase Day to Day.
and Chase,
Or is it
the
day-to-day
amazing Chase.
Yeah.
So Peter, coincidentally,
No way.
you are the founder and CEO of Grayson Sky, a creative agency in Philadelphia developing media, marketing, and digital strategy.
Did you get that from the website?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, cool.
Tell me about your inspiration for Grayson Sky and how you brought it from an idea to a manifestation. Go.
So a friend of ours, Ben Arsenal,
Okay.
he's a DJ producer.
Love it.
He came to a friend of mine, this gentleman, Michael Davinsky Sky. We hung out with Ben. Michael and I were close.
Okay.
And we were actually looking to start a few businesses. We were looking at a all-day brunch spot. We were looking at
I
a
love all day
lounge.
brunch. What
Yeah.
happened to that one?
Yeah, I probably would work less than I'm actually working now. So, so anyway, Ben came to us and said, "Hey, we're having a Halloween party. Would you help me fund it?" We said, "Sure, no problem. As long as we could have our people in VIP." He asked for 3,000. We were like, we're going to spend that anyway, but we might get our money back and have a VIP treatment, right? So we were like, let's go for it. And he said the big mistake he said was, every Sunday at 10 o'clock we meet at OFG or OFC Coffee. It's in Fairmount and
A coffee shop.
yeah, a coffee shop. So he'd meet with his team. So Michael and I went over there one Sunday, and then we sat there and we listened to their plan, and these guys they put together a great lineup, great producers, and then this is the time. This is 13 years ago, 12 years ago,
Okay,
when
wow.
Instagram wasn't so big, Facebook was just starting ads.
Mhm.
But anyway, we were like, hey, we want to start helping marketing. So we got a graphic designer, a copywriter. We started doing Facebook ads. We started really pushing our network. And we had it to where, people, when they came into town, we'd have the hotel set up, everything set up. It was just very easy to do.
So let me just ask you,
Yep.
what I'm hearing is that the inspiration was around a group.
Well, the inspiration was like, we wanted this party. We really loved the idea of it. It was this old recording studio in South Philly.
Fun.
So we went crazy. We got we got modern dancers. We got
Love it.
acrobatic people. We had dancers, in cages. We had.
Did they get out?
We had everything. We had food trucks come.
Right.
But anyway, the inspiration. What happened was after the event.
Yes.
So it was a $3,000 kind of loan,
Mhm.
kind of like hopefully make his breaks even, but we ended up spending 15,000 on, so we ended up spending
Holy
another
Toledo.
12. We lost a little bit, but what happened was it was the best time ever. And then people were coming up to us afterwards and like, hey, can you do this for our business?
Okay,
Because
fabulous.
they saw the way it was marketed,
Right.
and so Michael and I took a look at the industry. We called a couple people we knew that were involved in digital marketing, and we realized we built a website for this thing. We did everything.
Yeah.
So we were like, you know what? This is really And this is when like pay-per-click was starting to move. There wasn't too saturated. So we were like, this is going to be the new way to market, and your website will be the new brick and mortar. And it would, and so we started really diving into it, and we said, you know what, let's give it a go. So,
Well, I'm just going to ask you,
Yep.
when you say this is going to be a new way to market, do you mean by having events?
No,
No,
digital marketing.
digital marketing.
Yeah, so social
I
media
understand now.
marketing.
So
pay-per-click,
you
yeah,
because of the digital marketing that you did for this event,
yes.
got it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then that's how Grayson Sky was born, and Mike and I really did a lot of research. We did, we built something that is still around today, and but what we did build, and we continue to do, is community.
Right.
So we build opportunity and community for the people around us, and we really care about people. We care about our community, and I feel like that is still the driving force today. To Grayson Sky. So, Mike went on after a couple years. He moved out and went to Berkeley.
Okay.
And we're still close to this day.
Oh, that's good.
I have a new partner now who, is very close with too, Victor Tabak. And we are doing great things. And, I'm grateful to have the people around me. If I didn't have Grayson Sky, I wouldn't be around great people. Like, wouldn't be able to do these podcasts.
Yes.
And, like today, for instance, we did 4 podcasts today.
Yep.
Just getting this off the ground. It was a fun thing. Everyone came together today in our ecosystem, and it's very. I'm the last one. It's very hot in here. We're gonna, so we're gonna move this like speed dating. So.
So what I want to,
Yep.
I kind of want to just wrap my head around
Yeah.
what I heard you say is, sometimes people talk about starting a business and they're like, oh, I had this idea and then I
Yep.
da-da-da. And it sounds like your Grayson Sky was created in relationships.
It was created because relationships were part of it, but it was created because we saw that this was going to be it wasn't going anywhere, and it wasn't really, the market was kind of like these agencies that were popping up. You had these big agencies, and then you had these boutique agencies popping up, and they were doing things better than the bigger agencies. They were lean and mean, and we saw a opportunity. And Michael and I were looking at different opportunities, and because we knew we wanted to be partners, because we really liked each other, we trusted each other.
That's great.
And so that was an opportunity that we said, you know what, this could work. It wasn't really what we were looking for, but could work, and we kind of like, what we've done so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is the mission statement for Grayson Sky, and how do you guys work to achieve that mission statement?
So, it's funny because, I think from day one, so when we first started, we were in Old City, so there was First Friday events, right? So First Friday, all the galleries open up their doors, and the boutiques, and there were street vendors, and all this beautiful stuff. And I knew a lot of people in the neighborhood, Michael and I, and we started doing art shows. And that was part of us, getting talent, and also really showcasing the people we like and our employees. So we'd have like 2 to 3 different First Friday events on First Friday. We'd pay for everything. We would showcase it. And we got a lot of awareness through it. But we did it for 24 months straight, where we'd have at least 2 events every week.
Wow.
Every month. So that went really well. But what we noticed was, and what we still do today, is Grayson Sky, we're a catalyst. We catalyst our clients and our employees and ourselves. So we are catalysts, right? And that's really what we do to achieve success in business, but also in personal lives and community.
Okay. So when you were showcasing talent at the First Fridays, what kind of?
Well, so we were showcasing, but we were also getting talent, because
Right.
a lot of the artists came. We were more of a creative agency at that point.
So it was visual artists?
We would have, paint, illustration. We'd have photographers, videographers. We had TVs in one location.
Awesome.
Sometimes for the photographers, we'd have prints.
So it was like a gallery showing.
So we would have one that was a pop-up that would go to different places. Then we had another one that was at our friend's salon. We called it Snippet and Frame It. And we had one at our agency, and we called it the Mod Mashup. And they were sponsored by different companies that we were helping to promote, but we paid for everything.
And where were they coming from? You're brainstorming with your partners, or? work?
So it happens some organic and then some through our employees and us, right? Because organically, First Fridays was easy because it was happening. A ton of people were coming in every month for First
Yeah,
Friday.
great.
We it had to do with art and creative, and a lot of awareness was being done. So it was a lot. It just kind of happened itself, right?
Yeah.
But we utilized what we had around us to be able to really take advantage of it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I kind of mentioned this before. I love that you were really utilizing that local event and in getting with community
Yep.
to kind of spread organically what your business and your company and
Yep.
what you guys were doing.
Yeah, and you know what? We're big Philly advocates,
Yeah.
and a lot of our clients aren't in Philly,
Okay.
but we're big Philly advocates. So what we do every year is we have a certain amount of budget that we put to nonprofits, and we also do to local businesses that couldn't afford us.
Mhm,
So we do. If you look at our website, we have so many nonprofits. We don't have them all even on there.
mhm.
That we help and work with. It could be international, it could be local, it could be in U.S. But we do carve out a piece for Philly.
That's
We
awesome.
make sure that that happens. And anybody around us that are doing projects, we support. Our team supports. If anyone, our employees are doing something, we're there to support. So and that's part of the community we build, right? We have a STEAM program where it was STEM last year. Now we moved to STEAM to bring art in. We do that twice a year.
Yeah.
We also put together Philly AI Connect, which is bringing an AI community to Philadelphia. We pay for all of those things out of pocket from Grayson Sky, and our employees help. They donate their time, and we just know that these are pieces. Or it's able to catalyst people, whether they're looking for a job, whether they're getting knowledge, whether they want to teach, whether they want to give back. But that's all part of really what our mission is.
So what you're looking to do is kind of grow your company, but also be a place where you can nurture people's talent and obviously the young kids in the STEAM program, which I had the pleasure of
Meaning today,
experiencing today,
it's
which
graduation.
those kids just were in heaven,
Yep.
getting to have experience with knowledge they would never,
Yep.
rockets
Hmm.
and building bridges and
Yep.
architecture is not a part of
Yep.
the usual traditional elementary school
Yeah.
teaching.
And we really focus on we're part of I'm on the board and my partner is on the board for the Lighthouse, which is in Kensington,
Mhm.
and they've been around. They're one of the oldest nonprofits, but they have a great program there, and we do a lot of our STEM and STEAM there.
Mhm.
And these kids are just so amazing, and seeing their faces, seeing the parents come through, and really being a part of that, and letting there's some stuff that you just like, schools don't have a lot of budget all the
No, I
time,
know that.
and
Yeah.
also the teachers aren't that experienced when it
Right.
comes to it, so things move pretty quickly in the technology space. So if we're able to showcase like this is possible, this is what's happening. We have people coming in as teachers, not only from our staff but all over our clients, CEOs, and it's just really amazing to see them come out, and I'll tell you what, some of them say this is the best part of my week, or this, but say usually we give them a week program. It's 2 days a week. We do a 6-week course. It's 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we give, this year was the first year we really gave like clients and other people kind of like slots. And, they just, we had one client that dressed up with a wig and a lab coat, and all the kids had lab coats, and
Oh my
they
God,
were
that's
doing
awesome.
Mentos and these big and they were tying them to these trucks to push the it was showing a lot of wonderful it was beautiful, and then we had physics of basketball and whatever the case. But
Amazing.
it was really fun. It was nice, and you got to see it at the graduation
I
today,
did, and it
which
was
was lovely. Yeah.
so amazing.
Yeah.
And I just want to, like, what that brings to my mind is, you know, are you living on a spiritual level around your work? And tell me how that works
That's a great
for
question.
you.
So that's a loaded question. So work for me is an escape.
Okay.
Work for me can be an addiction.
Yes. Okay.
Work for me can
Be a
be a
distraction.
positive thing
Okay.
too.
Okay.
And but work for me also gives me purpose. you know? So
Sure.
there's a lot of different things. Balance is really important.
Yeah.
Balance is something I've yet to figure out.
Okay.
You know, so I think, what's the question again?
The question was, it just sounds like you invest so much, which to me is a very spiritual way of going about being in a business
Yeah. So,
because it's
yeah.
based on a lot of faith.
So what I've learned was, and I learned this in recovery, because
Yeah.
I'm in recovery.
Yes. Thank you. We're going to talk about
Surrender is
that.
really big, right? Surrender is big,
Yes.
and I used to hold on to a lot of things, suppress a lot of things.
Yeah.
And once I was able to surrender, it helps me with a lot of things. It helps me
Beautiful.
on how I deal with personalities at work, my employees, my partners. I'm able to take a breath, surrender,
Okay.
and say, okay, it's going to work out,
Mhm.
or I need to get out of the way
Yeah.
and just let it happen, and then assess the situation. That to me feels like spirituality to me, where I
Yes,
didn't
it
have
is.
before, you know, and being able to believe in somewhat of a higher power,
Yeah.
whether it's energy, the universe, things are all here for a reason. We all meet for a reason. This all happens for a reason.
I love that.
That is easy for me to let go of a lot of things, stress and anxiety, because if I just know it's going to happen, you know, it's like it just makes it a little easier for me, right?
Well, I really, I've been with you for the last like 24 hours or so,
Yeah.
and I've seen you in action, making phone calls and just, in your work.
Yep.
And it is so apparent that you live in that way of, just being in the flow and trusting the flow. And that is not easy. I struggle with that.
Yep.
So I admire, and just watching the way you work and that you just show up and you throw it out there and you take a chance and you invest in stuff. And I don't know if it's going to come back.
Yeah.
And it's really lovely.
Yeah. So there's a few things there, and that's interesting. And I guess like it's hard to see when you're in the bubble.
Yes.
But then like, you know, when people are around, they're just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
But you know, I think like someone said to me, he was a sponsor of mine. He said, you want to build a life you don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And this life
Beautiful.
I've built around me is I don't want to lose it, because
Yes.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love the people that are around me,
It's awesome.
and I have accountability to those people.
Mhm.
You know, I have promises I've made.
Yeah.
I have people that look up to me. I look up to people. And you know, so you know, it's very important to me that I don't want to lose that, right?
Yeah.
Because you know, I just lost a train of thought. That was really something I want to bring up. I should start writing things down while we're talking, because you're kind of you're hitting deep.
I know. That's what I do.
But yeah, so I think like what was the question again?
Just because I've seen
Oh,
you
right, yeah.
operating and you operate in the state of flow.
Yeah.
You operate in a way that you're throwing yourself out there, you're trying all these things, you're really taking chances, and I don't see you um uh like strangling it or
Yeah.
white knuckling it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see you like being active and being, assertive
Yeah.
and taking care of business, but it's not in a way of, and don't make it not work because,
Right,
or else
yeah.
I'm fucking kill you.
and
You know
it's
what I
fun-
mean? It's
yeah,
just, it's not there. And I noticed that because I've seen people be like
right,
that,
sure, sure. And I think like you know, that being said, you know, I've made a lot of money, lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
To be honest, when I did have a lot of money, I didn't really like myself. I
Mm.
wasn't the person that I am today.
Is it because you put the money first before
It's
yourself
because
and everything else?
you know, especially the first time. There's a few times that I've had a lot of money to where I was these different people that I just didn't like.
Yeah.
And what happens is you become obsessed, or you become complacent, you become better than, you think you're better than,
Because you
or
have money.
yeah, and all these different things, right?
Yeah.
So how I approached it this time was I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm going to do amazing
I
projects.
love that.
Yeah, and I'm going to do amazing projects, and I know the money will come if I do the right thing,
Oh
and I
my
do
God.
amazing projects.
Honestly,
you know?
though, but God bless you because that is scary.
Yeah.
That is a scary
Yeah.
stance to take,
Yeah.
to be like, I am just going to follow my heart, and I'm going to follow my integrity, and I'm going to trust that it will come back to me.
And it is scary.
And you live like that.
Yeah, and it is scary, but the alternative for me is way scarier.
Yes, which
Way
is what?
scarier. Would be me trying to kill myself in a way that like I would lose the people around me that love me. I push them away.
So you
you
mean
know?
like burn yourself out, kill
No,
yourself?
when I use, like,
Okay.
so like, being in recovery, I'm
Yeah.
able to have these tools to be a productive member of society.
Yeah.
I'm able to love and be loved,
Amen.
right? I'm able to have people around me that it's not about the money.
Right.
It's about, I really care for them first,
Yes. And so yes, you are in recovery. You have battled addiction
Yep.
and you are recovered
Yep.
and
Well,
continue to be in recovery.
I'm still,
In
I'm
recovery.
still
That's
an
what I mean.
addict, but
Yes.
I practice, and I gotta say, like, my partners, Brian and Vic, we have something like I don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
And and they believe in me, I believe in them.
Yes.
And we fight every day. And what the beautiful thing is, no, we fight we don't fight against each other.
Yeah.
We fight every
Fight
day
to stay in the
to
game.
stay in the game.
Beautiful.
And I couldn't do it without
And
them.
I get
And
that.
I don't want to do it without
Yeah,
them,
and I get that. I feel
Yeah.
that. The
Yeah.
guy that was there today that has the parents in Naples,
Oh,
is he?
that's Vic. He
he
wasn't there today, but
he
no,
was.
he was
He
there.
was at
Yeah,
STEM.
my bad.
STEAM.
Yeah.
I can feel that in him too.
Yeah.
That I'm here. I'm going in it, and
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
Yep. He's
And
a
I'm
he's
gonna
a badass
in it
for
to win
sure.
it. I
Yeah.
feel that
Yeah.
energy from him.
Did you meet Brian today too?
I don't think I
Brian
did.
came in later in the day. And
Oh,
he was
yes, I did.
tall,
Yeah, younger guy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think
Very nice
we were
energy.
in the middle of a meeting and you didn't get to meet him.
Oh.
He's
I
wonderful.
thought he was at
He
Steve.
moved here from Orange County
Oh,
or LA,
fancy
and
pants.
he moved here to be with Vic and I.
Okay, but
And,
I just,
yeah.
if you don't mind, I
Yeah.
want to get back to the
Sure.
recovery.
Let's go. Yeah.
And what I want to get back to is what was that got you to say enough is enough and I have to
So
have a life?
So it's like, I've been battling addiction for over 30 years.
Yes, I know.
So there wasn't, there were multiple relapses.
Yeah.
There were multiple times that, each time, I've had 5, I had 4, I've had 7, I had time.
So you're
right?
saying I've had 5 years of sobriety.
Yeah.
I've had 4 years of
Yeah.
sobriety, 7 years,
Yeah.
and then you're going back.
Well, yeah, and then
Right.
there's times I couldn't stop using, and I had everything. I have everything around me. I have wonderful.
And what was that experience like when you couldn't stop using and you're like, but I know I'm sabotaging?
You try really hard, right?
Yeah.
Like you know what you have to do, but you're so in a grip
Yeah.
that you are just in a place where, sometimes you wish you won't wake up because you can't stop, right? And you can't, it's hard. It's like really hard. And,
Yes.
my last relapse, I just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I just could not. I would come in and get a day coin or a key tag. And it was just, it was so hard.
So
right?
that's a day of sobriety coin
Yeah.
for those people who are not
or
on a
a
12
coin or
step.
key tag depending on NA
Yeah.
or AA.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is like it's been a really rough road, and there's a lot of times you go when you're rock bottom or you hit your knees or you go to institution or jail or there's like a crazy situation that happens, you will get clean and sober. But for me it was like I knew I had enough. And I wanted to stop
were
multiple
enough.
times,
Okay.
like all through the years,
Yeah.
like all different times. And it's just like, it's a really sick disease and,
Yeah.
and it is disease. And
Yes, it is.
and I'm saving myself now, there's more I could do, no doubt.
As
But,
far as
like
you,
more meetings, working
yeah.
on step work,
Yeah.
working with my sponsor. Like there's things like we're always, but the fact it's a maintenance plan, right? You're
Yes,
on a
it
maintenance
is.
plan.
Yep.
But I'm fortunate enough to have people in recovery around me 24/7.
Right, exactly.
Like,
So you
literally.
kind of
Yeah.
are in the community.
I'm there.
of
I'm there. I'm
the
just like,
group.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there needs to
But
be
the
more,
meetings are
there needs to be
important.
more done, like for me,
Yeah.
because I'm setting myself up to relapse, right?
Right.
It's very cunning because
Yes.
it'll already plan your relapse before you
Yes.
even know,
Wow.
right? And that's why you need people to check you and say, yo, you're off a little bit. Or
That's
you're
why we
not.
have sponsors.
That's why we have sponsors.
Yeah, because as
Yep.
you know, I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous and 12 Steps, and a sponsor is,
Yeah, it's key. And you should sponsor people.
and you
It's
should
the same
sponsor
thing.
people.
And it's just like I say when I'm talking with people in business, you need a mentor and you need a mentoree. And you need to
Correct.
have both.
I love that.
You need to teach and you need to
Who
learn.
are your mentors and mentees in your business?
I have through my life I've had quite a few.
Yes.
And I have multiple now. And I have people say they're my like I'm their mentor.
Yes.
But I look at it and then I mentor people. I guess it's a weird thing to say, but like we don't officially call it a mentor.
Right. It's just
But
it's like
just
a
natural
energetically
to where,
dynamic.
yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
like having a sponsor in NA,
Yeah.
or AA.
Yeah.
But but the thing is, especially with me, it's like I'll give you advice if I feel like you're gonna take it, or that you're passionate, or that you really want to hear it.
Yeah.
I'll take the time with you. Like, there's people that I'll interview for a job and they're just totally not qualified, and I'll sit back and I'll be like, listen, let's talk real quick. And this is what you need to do. If you want to take this serious, this is what you need to do. You got to come more prepared. You got to take these courses. You got to do this. I was like, you know what? Get back to me in a month. I'm going to give you 2 things to do. Get back to me. And if you do them, then I'll help you with the next step.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who would do that?
I mean, I don't know, but I'm sure people will. But
Yeah.
it's in their own
No,
way.
there are not a lot who do it.
But
And I just want to say that I just see, and I'm a witness to how you're giving back. I'm a witness to your generous heart. Truly. I'm just so proud of you
Thank
your
you.
cuzzy wuzzy. And I'm so proud of what you've done with your company.
Thank you.
And I want to ask you, what would you dream that your legacy would be for your life?
So, I think about that quite often, because it's funny to me how like we're just like, our time here is very short, and
Yeah.
what our impact is, does it even mean anything? And what about those select few that make it in our history books, which really that time doesn't really mean anything.
Right.
So it's
'Cause
like,
it's over.
so it's like, does it matter?
Right.
Does it,
Yes, right.
does it even matter? But
True.
I think like for me, it's like, I just want to make sure that, I'm going to be a good husband and a good father especially to my son now.
I
Like I
love
love
that.
him so much.
Beautiful.
And, but that,
Grayson of Grayson Sky.
yeah, Grayson. Yeah. But like, that's all. Like, I don't really think about, I don't need that.
So what you're
you
talking
know?
about is what I'm hearing is what the legacy I'm doing right now. What legacy
Yeah.
am I creating in the now
Yeah.
moment?
I think that legacy is giving my son and my future kids a platform, and also giving them opportunity to do what they need to do. And that could be with money, that could be with the agency, that could be with whatever the case is,
Yeah.
knowledge. But I think that's really important, and having that community that we build
Yeah.
will also help them.
Right. And giving back to the greater community with the organizations that you sponsor.
Yep.
I love you so much.
I love you more.
And this has been it's been my absolute honor
Thank you.
to have you
Yeah.
be a part of this. I know we had a long day.
I know.
And this has been produced by Grayson Sky, Brooke Storms, and Chase and Peter. And everybody, all the guests were amazing.
Yes,
and it was
they were.
because you are so amazing. And you're just like the little Pied Piper.
I'm the
You're like a
Pied-
little
Yeah.
light that all
Like,
the little
yeah.
people want to go to. And I'm just so
Thank you.
honored. And I love you so much. And you're
I love you too.
and we're Gemini Power.
Oh,
And,
happy birthday.
Hey, thank
It's
you.
your birthday today.
And happy birthday to you, because it was just your birthday.
Yeah. Yep.
And Peter, I love you so much.
Love you too.
I love you more.
Love you too.
Oh, I love you so much.
Bye.
Thanks for being on my shit
Thanks,
show.
man. This is a shit show
I know this is a spiritual shit show.
podcast.
Cut!